Now, shifting gears, moving from MAGA to MAHA, this week, RFK Jr. has been amplifying the idea and talking about keto diets. And look, I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I agree with RFK on a number of issues. There are some ideas out there that he has that are great. America is horribly addicted to ultra-processed foods, and there are several peer-reviewed studies that are out there that keep coming out that show us that ultra-processed foods are making us sick. Whether it's type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, any of it, those are real issues. We also know that pharmaceutical advertising is very harmful, and RFK has taken a stand against that. Now, we've seen no policy changes, but he's taken a stand against pharmaceutical advertising. But now, RFK and his brainworm are saying that a keto diet can treat serious mental illness like schizophrenia. Now, look, if this were true, if this were something that was scientifically proven, it would be revolutionary. You could eat differently to cure mental illness. And these are conditions that they impact millions of people. I want to say it's something like 1 in 300 people are diagnosed with schizophrenia. But it's very important for me to note, schizophrenia is an extremely damaging mental illness that needs treatment. It needs consistent treatment. It needs immediate treatment, not eating more protein, not watching your carbs, right? We know that self-harm amongst people with schizophrenia is far greater than the general population. So it's dangerous for someone like RFK to stand up there and promote this keto diet as something that can cure illness. It's absolutely irresponsible. And let's talk about this keto diet. Let's talk a little bit about the science or lack thereof with keto diets. First of all, if you look on Facebook or talk to your friends, there are things that can help from keto diets. You're going to notice an immediate drop in weight. This is a quick way to lose weight. And one of the reasons to me is that these are people, the people that are starting a keto diet are people who haven't paid attention to what they're eating before at all. So any fad diet, anything that makes them think differently about what they're eating can be beneficial in the short term. But we've seen that these keto diets are telling you to load up on red meat, load up on processed meat, saturated fats, and then restricting vegetables, fruits, whole grains. That is bad health. We know that it can lead to low blood pressure. We know that it can lead to bad heart health. It is extremely dangerous to pregnant women or those that are trying to become pregnant. We know that there are birth defects that can come from low-carb diets. It is absolutely irresponsible to talk about a keto diet as something that is going to revolutionize healthcare in this country. It is not a substitute for mental health treatment, for healthcare cuts, for any of this. And that's why it's absolutely irresponsible to have RFK, who spouts all sorts of crazy crap, standing up there and essentially pontificating about what he feels with no scientific backing will change the world. And look, this is something that is widespread throughout this government. We talked on my show, we talked about Dr. Oz saying that eating more protein and following the MAHA diet is going to lead to more productivity and save us trillions of dollars. In reality, it's going to lead to increased heart disease, increased heart attack, cancer, diabetes. These are all things that are linked to increasing the carcinogenic red protein intake. It is absolutely irresponsible. And that's what happens when you have public policy and public trust eroded by someone who is more of an influencer, someone who's more driven by memes and by pseudoscience than actual research. And again, I must say this again. Schizophrenia is nothing to laugh at. It is not a wellness problem. Mental health is not just a wellness problem. It's not something that an influencer can fix immediately. There are medications. There are psychiatric treatments, psychological treatments, and delaying just a little bit, treating mental health issues can be deadly. This isn't something that's speculative. It is real. And that is the point here. It is dangerous to have someone like RFK spouting all of this without saying any of the potential drawbacks, without telling you that it could be potentially deadly. But hey, you know what? All it's going to do is it's going to be more memes, more tweets, more Truth Social posts from the MAGA and Maha crowd. Again, I'm Josh from Ring of Fire Weekends. You can catch us youtube.com/The Ring of Fire. You can catch me on my newly launched social media pages at The Voice of the Left. Filling in for David, we've got more content to come today on Friday, February 6th.
A lot of clothing brands today talk about sustainability, but our Fair Harbor sponsor actually builds it into how their products are made. Fair Harbor was founded with a specific goal: reduce plastic waste by turning recycled plastic bottles into durable, comfortable fabrics. Instead of treating sustainability as an add-on, make it the core of the company and make it the core of how Fair Harbor clothing is designed to be worn and reused over time. I've been wearing some Fair Harbor pieces, and what stands out is the environmental factor doesn't come at the expense of comfort or practicality. The clothes feel soft, broken in, easy to wear day in and day out. They're not stiff. They're not over-engineered. They're designed to actually be used, which really matters if sustainability is going to mean anything at all. So if you're looking for swimwear, shirts, hoodies, or other casual clothing that works for everyday wear and travel, head to fairharborclothing.com and use the code Pakman for 20% off your full price order now through February 28th. The link is in the description.